Hi. I feel like this is gonna be a little messy. What's up, you guys? Thank you so much for joining. I spend a lot of time in the kitchen. I love to cook, I love to bake, I do it with pride, I do it all the time, but funny enough, I'm actually not the biggest fan of food tricks, food trends, tips and tricks, life hacks in the kitchen. Most of the time I feel like it's just wasting certain products. We all know that almost everything looks easy online, but I picked out a couple of current food trends to try with you guys for this video, so let's dive right in. We're starting off with a food trend that I've seen at least 10 times online in the past week. It is combining vanilla ice cream with olive oil and salt. Now hold up, before you judge me, I'm just as concerned as you are. Oh my God, here we have good old vanilla ice cream. A little spoon for good luck. I don't know. Recently, vanilla ice cream has really become my favorite flavor. I don't eat a lot of ice cream. When I was younger, I used to love coconut ice cream and things with chunky bits and pieces in there. But now, plain vanilla ice cream with like a warm pastry, like a half-baked cookie brownie situation, tops everything. Here we have a little bit of vanilla ice cream. We're not gonna make a huge portion of this. Now let me add a bit of olive oil as if it were chocolate syrup. That's what they do in the videos, so we're not gonna hold back here. Ooh, okay. I love olive oil as well, I just don't know what this combo is. And last but not least, a little bit of salt. Okay, it's served. Let's try. We're getting a good, This is so odd. No. Oh, it's a disaster. Whoa, this is really bad. I can see the olive oil and the vanilla ice cream working out just because it's fat with fat. That will always give you a certain amount of comfort. But the salt makes everything taste bitter. I don't know if I added too much, but it genuinely is not enjoyable. This food combo or food trend is straight from hell. I'm calling them nuns. Another trend that I come across all the time is whipping things up. Specifically whipping honey. As you guys probably know at this point, I love to bake. So I'm very familiar with what whisking something does. It beats air into a substance, which makes it naturally fluffier and more light, and it often impacts the flavor as well because oxygen impacts the flavor. And when you mix it, when you whip it, when you beat it, whatever you want to call it, you add a lot of air, and in air is oxygen. I think I don't need to explain. But we're gonna do that, and we're gonna start off with honey. I'm usually not a honey eater or taker, drinker, whatever people use it for. People put it in tea, people put it on a toast. I leave it in the cupboard. I don't do anything with it. I know it's good for the vocal cords, that's why I sometimes consume it, but that's about it. There's a bowl on my lap. I'm not pouring honey into my crotch. I really hope this makes the honey more enjoyable. Something that's always thrown me off about honey is how sticky it is. The moment you touch it, it's like one of those black balls that almost took out Mr. Incredible. It just doesn't let go, and I just don't like the feeling of it. Anyways, here's our honey in the jar. Ugh. I like the flavor of it and it doesn't disgust me, but it's just not appetizing either. I don't know, it's just... Here we have my best friend, the mixer. We're gonna fire him up and beat the oxygen into this honey. Oh. Okay. Ugh. So far, so good. This looks exactly like I saw it online. Look at how light it all of a sudden is. This looks a lot more enjoyable and fancier than normal honey. Okay, I think that's it. Look at this. The original honey was super dark and golden and brown, but this is literally like a beige. This looks beautiful. And the reason why it's so light is because there's so much air in it now. Let's see if it tastes any different. Yeah, it does. It's a lot smoother, and even though it's too sweet for me to put it on anything, this is definitely better. Wow, this is a great food trend. I'm surprised that there's not more of it now, because since we beat air into it, shouldn't it expand or something? Like, I expected there to be at least twice as much. Ooh, so thick. See? It's back in the jar, as good as new, just a little better. Another thing that I've seen people whisk up online is cottage cheese. I love cottage cheese. I literally always have 10 mega packs in my fridge. I eat it with every single meal. I also kind of grew up with that and I just love it. So of course I have to try beating up cottage cheese. Here we have a fresh pack of Daisy's cottage cheese. Okay, that was a fail. I love Daisy's cottage cheese. I don't know how this is gonna turn out, so we're not gonna do too much of it because I'm very protective of it. Ooh. Cottage cheese for the win. Ooh, and the slight taste of honey on that spoon wasn't too bad with it either. This isn't doing anything. This is just separating the curds within the cottage cheese from each other. Now it just looks like a dirty dish. Yeah, this is a big fat fail. Okay, let's keep it clean. Okay, let's maybe not do that. I don't know how people do it. I failed. I did not successfully beat up cottage cheese. I don't see why I would need to. Cottage cheese is already great the way it is. Okay, now I have enough strength for the next trend. Alright, last but not least, I've seen a lot of people putting fruit into their freezers to then eat it later on as if it was ice cream. That is something I have never done. I'm aware of the recipe that involves freezing bananas and then putting it in a blender to turn it into banana ice cream, but I've never had a frozen piece of fruit just like that. Maybe like a frozen raspberry here and there, but you know, no, not the way it's marketed online as this trend right now. Here we have a blueberry. This blueberry used to be nice and squishy, and it has literally turned into a weapon in the freezer. This could easily be a bullet or a stone. I mean, listen to this. I'm just gonna try and eat this and see if it tastes like blueberry ice cream. I hope I don't break my tooth while doing so. And if I do, well then whoever started this trend, I'm coming for you. Oh wow, it's really good. It's kind of like sorbet. I think because blueberries have such a high water percentage, this is a great fruit to do this with because it actually gets this ice cream texture. I cannot imagine freezing a banana and then eating it like this. I think I would actually break my teeth. But this, very good. I wish I would have put more in the freezer. Alright, with that being said, these were some fun food trends that I wanted to try out honestly and see if they work or taste good. Like I said, the first ice cream, olive oil, salt situation, let's not talk about it. Disaster, don't do that to yourself. The whipping and beating up stuff, great. I don't encourage violence, but in this context, I'm all for it. Definitely try to beat up your honey. Don't bother beating up your cottage cheese, it's already perfect. Don't fix it if it's not broken. And from time to time, if you want to change up your fruit, freeze it. It changes the consistency, the flavor is still great, and the temperature difference in your mouth is fun too. With that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know about some other food trends or food life hacks that you know about that you want me to try out. I'm happy to look into it. Until then, take care and see you soon. Bye.